One, two, kind of three, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, and my note card. There we go. 1 minute starts now, or when I go. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Lori. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about myself. We're going to talk about three important parts of my life that have happened or will happen. The first is what we call our main goal. That's where my past. That's my past is I've lived in Louisiana. Then we're going to talk about my present, which is my family. And then my future, which is my degree. My degree is going to be a PhD in anthropology or mortuary anthropology. So to start, I did live in Louisiana almost over 9 years ago. I grew up there till I was about 13, 14. In Louisiana, I had a huge family, lived in a small town. It was a very rural town, as most of Louisiana is. So a lot of Louisiana culture is based around food and cooking, and everybody learns recipes from everybody. So today we do have beignets, which is something that I have learned to cook from my mother, my grandmother, recipes like that. We also learn, the classics like jambalaya, gumbo, crawfish etouffee, all of that. So, like I said, I did live a very rural life. I lived on a farm. We had animals. We, lived in the middle of nowhere, which is also a key part of living in Louisiana, is living in the middle of nowhere. So, like with the rural part, the small town, it was very small town, and I was related to everybody in my town. So I have 4 aunts, 4 uncles, like 16 to 20 cousins, roundabout, great cousins, cousins removed. So that was that was one of my favorite parts of living in Louisiana. And to move on to my present is my family. I do consider my family my present most core aspect of my life right now. I'm very close to all of my family, all of my aunts, my uncles, my cousins. We grew up close. Even my immediate family. I've got 5 younger brothers and sisters, my grandparents, all that good stuff. I consider family a key aspect of my life. I wouldn't be who I am without my family. So 9 years ago, I did move here to Florida, which was a big difference because I was connected to my family and my extended family. So when we moved here, it was just my immediate. I had 4 younger brothers and sisters at the time. I'm sorry, and so when we moved here, first thing my mom wanted to do was go to the beach. What we did is we got a bunch of shells, sand, and even the seawater from our first time at the beach when we moved here, which was a very important part of my life. I've remembered it since I've moved here. I've kept this jar with me for over 9 years. And it still kind of represents the closeness that my family has to me. We also have a bunch of familial traditions, as many families do. We're rooted in Italian, French, Catholic-based traditions. One of them is my grandmother's novena. A novena is a Catholic prayer of urgency, and with that, you light a candle for a specific person or a specific reason for that person, and you light that candle and you pray for that person for 9 days. Within those 9 days, you'll make sure the candle is lit. If it goes out, then that is a signifier that your prayers have been answered. If it doesn't go out, it's not a big deal. You do pray for the 9 days, though. Another driving force is my mother is always promoted me to do as best I could in school. She always wanted me to go as far as I could and do the greatest that I could. So with my future, I do plan on the mortuary anthropology. So my mom promoted me to, which wasn't my first choice, but it did end up being my final. My mom promoted me to go as far as I could. So my choice is to get my PhD in mortuary anthropology for this reason, because my mom does believe to do as best you can, and I believe a PhD is as good as it gets. The reason why I chose mortuary anthropology, like I said, I do love traditions, and I like the deep-rooted traditions that family and culture bring. And anthropology is the study of humans. So when you study humans and you study their tradition, I think that's just a really cool thing. Mortuary anthropology specifically is death rituals. A death ritual that has interested me was the people of Bo. The people of Bo were back in 1560 AD China. They were a they lived in caves up on the mountains. These people were massacred by the Ming Dynasty. After they were massacred, there were hanging baskets above in the caves, and they were 300 feet on the mountain. Nobody knew really where they were. They called mystery baskets. What they were their actual grave sites, so they couldn't be desecrated. They were surrounded by murals painted in crimson red to reference their brutal massacre, but to also remember their lives and what they've done. Just because I am in mortuary anthropology, I'm not obsessed with death, but I'm more obsessed with the rituals that the death brings. Because every culture and every family type does bring their own kind of ritual, and they bring their own kind of traditions into the celebration of life, which my family, we do celebrate life in its ending. We don't mourn them. We do grieve them, but we don't mourn them in a sad way. We do celebrate the life that they led and the life that they had and the family that they've left behind. Conclusively, I do believe that as a person, I should be well balanced. I am well balanced in my past, my present, my future, because of all the experiences and the family that I do have. My traditions keep me rooted, my rituals keep me rooted into who I am. I'm lucky to be brought up in a culture and a family that is so close knit that I have the ability to explore and be who I am. As Aristotle said, and my mom brought it up, a whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And to me, that does resonate in my life. Thank you.